Well, hello everybody. In today's video, we'll be going over the Shield 5000. I don't know. I've done so many versions of the Shield. We'll be talking about game mechanics, dialing it in, how to make the historical burgage plots look kind of nice, uniform, optimizing sheep, how to get... Oh, let me show you. The amazing thing is I'm producing almost 400 wool off of just 50 sheep, and I'm doing it with an improved design. I've been looking at how they move around. It's pretty straightforward. Basically just want to put a square at as many roads as possible. If you don't do this, what they do is they do this like whole little loop-de-loop thing. So we'll be going over that. Also messing around with trade. I have found that one trade post still is king, so they got a little bit of work to do there. But let's get ready to rumble. And remember, if you like long-form movies, to subscribe.
Gdzie jest moja świnia? They have taken my pig, zabrali moją świnię. I haven't slept in weeks. Nie spałem od tygodni. And now when I see other pigs I cry. A teraz gdy widzę inne świnie płaczę. I lost my hair, straciłem włosy. I've lost weight. Why did the will to live straciłem wolę życia? Why did the bandits take my pig? Dlaczego bandyci zabrali moją świnię?
Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be doing Germanic Valley, Neslo. I find this is one of the better maps. And we're going to start up in the top corner so we can build the city downward. All right, look at this. We got ourselves an interesting one. So the best farm, let's pause. Best farmland in the game, wild animals, and a rich deposit of mushrooms. This is really good for a major city. And yes, the best farmland in the game. Now they've nerfed a little bit of the farming, and they've doubled the fertility value of rye to counteract for the fact that you produce less of it than wheat. Actually, they increased it by 50%, I should say. We have a little bit of iron, so this is perfect. You can see we're going to be able to do our entire city and this area over here. All right, so let's talk Turkey. Essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to start off with 4 corpse pits in the center, and you're going to draw roads around them. Then you're going to use the corpse pits as a measuring device to get these roads perfectly short. I'm going to try to like summarize this really easy. To get the 3 areas that you're going to do your farming in, it's really simple. You're going to do 2 corpse pits like such, a hunting camp right here, and a hunting camp below right here. I can't place it in because I already did. And then you're just going to outline it. This is the perfect historical burgage plot. I've shown this many times before. You're going to do 3 of those on top. Then you're going to take the road tool. You're going to come down and measure the same exact thing down here. You only need to do the length because you already have the width from above. And then you're just going to drag the roads below. Now what this gives you is an area for the best historical burgage plot farms that you can get. It's 1 Morgan worth of backyard space. And your optimal is about 0.25 Morgans per family. It's really simple. I could definitely dial it in even more, but if you want something practical and easy, this is it. And then in the middle, we have the perfect spacing for our multiple burgage plots, so we can fit 5 single level burgages. Now, we're going to have granaries in the center that have access to all goods, and the walking distance is very optimal. So we have 3 veggies here, we have 3 veggies here. We're actually going to do the apples and everything at the same width and length Now, to be honest, you can get away with about twice. So it's like 0.5 Morgan per family with the apples. But because they've increased the cost and all that jazz, right? We're going to do things a little different. So what's great is, like I said, we've already established the height necessary for all this. So we just need to make sure that we're eyeballing this correctly and going straight. We have our meat right here, mushrooms right up here. So everything is within walking distance of these granaries. This is how you should think about building, okay? 3 orchards and 3 orchards. So we're going to create all food types in this. Now, if we want to, we could do veggies on top. We can do veggies over here. We can alternate. Like, we have that option. And we have, like, almost infinite room for expansion, too. So the first thing I want to do is get a hunting camp up right about here. Now that things are protected, you can put your logging camp anywhere. We're going to place our logging camp right here and try to cut down all these trees. Beautiful day. All right. So we still have 6 wood left. So with the 6 wood, we're going to establish our first double burgage plots for farming. Boom, boom. 2, and let's come over here and do 3. So you can see why I like this. You get that historical look. You get that efficiency, about 0.75 Morgans, and you're ready for the races. Now, we're all the way up here, so we're probably not going to get our family in April, because they have to come all the way down here with everything. But let's let them get going. And then, of course, let's order 1 ox. And let's build another hitching post. I'm going to build the hitching post down here, because we're going to move this logging camp eventually down here. But you can see we have a great area. And where I place industry, to be honest, is most likely going to be down here. We're probably going to place all of our industry down here. It's a beautiful spot. Look at all the wood around us. And then farming will most likely come out in this direction. So this is kind of the danger of when you do roads like that awesome, right? So we don't want our roads to go too crazy awesome. I kind of like this. Alright, we'll play it by ear. But we'll most likely need to redo some of the roads. Oh, I'll leave this for now. But yeah, we're going to have a ton of farming in here. This is perfect. Now, one thing we need to make sure is that we're connected to the King's Road. So let's just get a road connected to the King's Road for traders. Perfection. Okay, so we have it all mapped out now. We're going to speed us along. We're actually even going to relocate. No, we shouldn't relocate yet. Let's wait till all the logs have been moved. Going to prioritize the logging camp, and we're going to prioritize the hitching post. Hunting camp is up. Let's get 1 family in there. Now we're going to set this at 12 animals, and that's going to get us about an optimal amount right there. Ooh, it went up to 16. They definitely messed with it a little bit. Okay, logging camp's up. Let's put 2 families in. Just make sure that protect resource area is checked. That way we don't have to set anything. They will just attack the nearest log first. All right, 1 house is up. We're going to want to get construction expansion as soon as possible. Things are looking good. This is a nice little chunk of land. It's always fun to see it at the beginning stages, right? Okay, we got a few homeless individuals. We need to, like I said, expand these. We'll probably get our first family in May, if I play my cards correctly. Alright, let's get this up. So the next goal, as I said, is to try to figure out where we're going to do industry. I think industry has a good chance of being down here, so I want to get up my artisan housing now so that I can get into bow making, things like that. So we're actually going to take this road to our side, like such. We're going Roman on our building here. Okay, not enough goods, it's fine. Get 2 plots up down here. Okay, it looks like we're waiting on a few things. April 21st. Okay, we got enough for 1 family to come in, so we only missed it by a month. Not bad. Kind of happens when you're all the way up here. So we want to move our hitching post down to where the wood is now. Move it here. I think we're actually even just going to straight up move logging camp here. Just get it in position. Primarily because I want to start pumping out the industry zone, right? Want to get up our storehouse, want to get up all that jazz. So this whole area is going to eventually be deforested. All right, let's pause real quick. And you can see we can fit a well right in the design here. So this is perfect. I'm actually gonna put the well, put it right here. And then the next goal is to get up a granary. So I'm thinking, do I want it outward facing? Do I want it this way? Honestly, I think inward facing is kind of cool. And you can have multiple market areas. So you don't have to have one giant market area, okay? And so what we're going to do with all of the spacings in between is just throw out market stalls. There's spot for 12. There we go. Feed this along. All right, so we got our first point. Now, what are we going to do, right? What do we want to do? So small holdings are kind of cool. If you make something a small holding, you only get a 20% increase. It kind of sucks. Approval bonus from food is nice. Increased tree planting is nice. Honestly, they need to rework it. Of the Voktland is really good. Hunting hounds are amazing. Export price increase of 50% is amazing. Increased capacity for foraged goods would be awesome. But it would give us a decrease in agriculture, which we just can't sustain. We're going to be exporting a lot of bread. Woodwright Journeyman, increase the combat effectiveness. It decreases fuel consumption, which is actually pretty good for a big city. And then, you know, everybody gets export value, increases boyers and joiners. Not bad. The main thing here, though, is it decreases mining speed labor, which sucks. Now, the blacksmith guy, he's supposed to... Which one of these increase? There's one of them that actually increases mining speed. I think it's the... Oh, wow. Well, this one increases the mining speed of stone. Yeah. That's a cool one, but we don't have stone. Improve mine integrity. So Nuremberg prospectors, proximity of mines no longer factors into collapse. So this allows you to mass produce mines. So if you're thinking about creating a mining city, you actually want to go into Nuremberg prospectors. Mining import discounts, but this is the main thing. You can have multiple mines. You don't have to worry about anything. And improved armor is not bad. Over here, efficient farming and elevation, cheaper animal imports, increased mining labors. Yeah, artisan. For us, we're going to go with my favorite, which is increase regional wealth for burgage plots, reduce burgage plot upgrade cost, salt and iron import value reduction. This is going to be pretty important for us. So we're going to go for the money, especially because we need money. So now every burgage plot will give us money. Tier 2 burgage plots only give you money if your approval is above 80%. And then tier 3... you have to have about 75%. It's kind of an interesting way they reverse those things. So your incentive for having really, really high... Oof, our general storage is full. We need to get up a storehouse. Sorry, I have to segue, or everybody will die. Okay, so let's get up... So the storehouse and the trade. So if we do start trading food, it's all the way up here. That's not bad. The storehouse I'm going to have facing inward. Okay. And we also need to get up a forager hut. And we're just going to get the road up right here. You can see we have 145 out of 145. And you can see all the mushrooms are highlighted. Okay, we're going to get up multiple forager huts. The best way to do the hunting camp, honestly, is to have like someone who's not working a burgage plot. Unfortunately, everybody is. Well, not yet. I haven't even gotten to the vegetable garden part. All right, we got the militia. So we want to try to go get some monies here soon. 12 out of 36. Once we hit 20, we'll go off. Okay, cool. We have 2 available living spaces. We're going to continue to get up anybody and everybody we can. So let's get up another double burgage plot as soon as we get the funds. We have 1 free family. That's not unassigned. Here we go. Logging camp was... Oh, no, sorry. We had a ton. All right, let's get 3 people in. I got distracted again. All right, 1 person in the storehouse. Granary is being constructed. We're golden again. We need to get food as soon as possible. I'm going to prioritize the forager hut. Now that we have someone in the storehouse, they should start emptying out the hunting camp up here. In the pelts, and we'll trade the pelts right now. That's all you can do with them. All right, look at that. Got ourselves another family. Let's put 1 in the granary. Start moving these foods and everything out. You can see the generic storage is still full, which is kind of concerning. We don't have time to think about that right now. Let's pause the game real quick. We are going to get up a woodcutter's lodge. I think we're going to get it up on the other side right here. Perfect. People are starving. Not cool. Let's get so you can't slaughter anything until you get rid of what's in the generic storage. And they actually fixed that. And it looks like they unfixed it. Let's put 2 families over here in mushrooms. We can gather a bunch of food real quick. All right, we're going to take 1 family out of the logging camp. Prioritize the woodcutter. We'll get the woodcutter built up, get some firewood coming in. Yeah, we just got to make sure that people... Oops, I just realized I built hunting camps. Hunting camps don't cost anything, so you don't have to worry about it, but it did cause inefficiency. So hit tab real quick and just scan, make sure you didn't make any mistakes. Perfect. All right, we're getting some of them mushrooms now. Woodcutter lodge is up. Place 1 family into that. I'm going to pull 1 out of the logging camp just so I have people who can build. We have 1 available space for a family to move in. So yeah, we're doing great. Got the market stalls rolling. We are going to continue trekking along. Get another double burgage plot up. We have room for families. Now the crazy thing is now you can actually expand faster than you can feed everybody. So it's really, really important to get some kind of food production going up. You can see also the average cost to plant on these is only 10%, which isn't bad. Get another house there. Get another house right here. Oh, no, 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 my bad. That's 330%. Oh, God. Okay, my bad. All right. we got our work cut out for us. I got excited. I was looking at how much it was if it was just a small guy. So you could, I mean, you could just have a bunch of families and you could run away from this. But then those families, they do a terrible job because they're always coming back to work on the farm fields instead of being focused. So that's why I don't like to do that. But you could. I mean, maybe an argument could be made for it. All right, we got all that stuff out. I'll put 1 family in the hunting camp. Let's make sure we have 2 types of food coming in. That will give us some nice little bonuses there. All right, now the next thing we need to do is get up a saw pit, which I'm going to put right here. And they nerfed it, so there's only 1 worker there now. They just couldn't get the double worker to get the... He just didn't do anything, so they just got rid of him. Okay. Now the saw pit's going. We're going to get the church up here soon. We're going to put a timber limit 10 reserved. We always have a little bit. Let's get the planks going. We should have close to what we need to start attacking the banditos. Got a bandit camp all the way in the top right, which really sucks. But yeah, you can see this is nice. This is going to be a big city. Bandits just stole 7 of my meat. Now, one thing I want to do, so we got the hunting camp right here. I want a family just dedicated to this hunting camp. I got like 150 when I did this, a yield. So you don't want to use a farm family. I mean, these guys, if you have it like right next to it, we can put a pig extension. So we're going to do this. That's how we're going to get the efficiency there. Same for the forager families, right? Let's get, I think 2 people in the forager is probably enough to actually get all these mushrooms now. If the granary can keep up, at a minimum, we'll have 2 foragers just to improve the pantry size, right? Because we can gather a lot. So most likely yeah, let's just do it. Let's not rely on the granary workers being very quick in the beginning. That way they can fill up their pantries, because once the pantry hits max, they stop working. So you have a massive inefficiency there. So you can see the granary worker just came. Now, I will preface this by saying, in the patch, huge changes happened to the granary that you may not be aware of. They added more carts, okay? So that's huge. Pretty darn big. And we're going to see how that plays out during this gameplay. All right, let's get some Jesus in here. So this is where we're going to place like taverns, all that kind of stuff. I think that the church can go down. Personally, I think I'm going to place it kind of like right here. Later on, we can get a forester in here to get some trees around it, but there we go. Give it a nice little spot. We'll put the tavern and things up here, potentially. This might be the Jesus zone. Okay, look at that. These burgers plots are getting out. Let's expand their living spaces. And once someone moves into here, we'll assign them to this hunting camp. Same thing with the forager. Let's prioritize this forager hut. All right, we got nothing up here now. This is beautiful. Got a little bit of iron we should probably mine out before I build anything there. And we definitely have the 20 soldiers. So let's go get some money so that we can get the veggies. This is... Oh, nice. We got a camp here and a camp there. This is one of the most important steps in all of this. Make sure that you're not running too. You need all that stamina. Because we need to get things rolling ASAP. So let's get up our gardens. So another reason why... You're probably wondering, why did I use the hunting camp? It's to lower the dead loss of the first area. If you do it right, you typically get a pretty good area. So this one did a bad job, and you can tell it's because it's wonky. When you do everything perfectly, you get a much cleaner and wider area. So pretty cool. We can just let it slide, right? We're going to be reducing more food than we know what to do with. Okay. So we're going to come over here. We're going to attack this bandito. All right, and down here, we're going to do orchards, I've decided. So we'll do orchards down here, veggies up here, same thing. That way we just have a basis of what we need to do. We need to start working on an economy as soon as possible. And we're just selling anything we possibly can. So we kind of need to slow down because well, we actually have quite a bit of food. The mushrooms and the meat are doing a fantastic job, to be quite honest. Mushrooms and meat are pretty dope. Meat is I will say meat is definitely better than fish. Now, after doing the math for myself and seeing how it works, meat has lower spoilage than fish. You can get a ton of it. Okay, so you go into stand your ground to absorb the charge damage, and then you go into push forward. And this is how you kill without losing anybody. There we go. So one bandito camp right over here. Let's go get it. All right. We got the church up. We're going to send the money to the town. And then we're going to move on to the next bandito. Make sure they're not running. They're walking. Conserve stamina. And we're going to come down here. We're going to check. Okay, carrots right here for 131. All right. Carrots are the best one to get up, in my opinion, first. That's a pretty big bandito camp. All right, let's move. All right, we got a pretty good chunk of stamina. We should probably wait to refull. That way we significantly lower the chance of us dying. Okay, we're good. Just move forward a little bit at a time. Always making sure to be at least 2 men thick. Otherwise, you'll lose somebody. It gets separated. Crap, I did not mean to run. All right, yeah. 2 men thick like this. Hold the ground, stand your ground. Then, boom, they just hit us with a charge. Now we're going to push forward. Sometimes you will lose a men on the second camp. I think that there is like some kind of... Okay, nice, we didn't lose anybody. Sometimes there's like a collective damage thing I think that happens. All right, let's go for the bandit camp. Also, I think making sure your fatigue is, optimal. Like you have no fatigue whatsoever. That will do it. We're going to send all of it to the town. I think we can take the bandits personally. And there'll be other bandit camps that we can attack. So let's send everybody back. So that just gave us a little bit more. So we're going to do the beetroots now. Perfect. We got all that jazz going. We can get to Burgers Plot level 2, so we're going to do that. We need to get an 80% approval bonus, though, if we want to get the extra monies from that. And then we do. And that's another reason why I went with Bamberg's... No, sorry. Regensburg Guildman is that increased regional wealth per Burgers Plot +1 per month. All of them. All of them. Off the bat. That's what makes that amazing. Okay. So we got one individual in here. So we're going to remove the hunting... So click on the hunting camp. Get it down to 0 workers. Come over to your Burgers Plot. Go to people. Reassign to different workplace. Click on it. So now this person who lives here is working right next door. Okay? Very cool. This hunting camp's up. So do we have individuals living here? We do not. Okay. We're going to unassign and reassign. And it's best to assign these families to other things like sawmill, lumber, all the things that you don't care about. Even like weavers would be a good job for them because they can just work in their off season and, you know, stockpile a bunch of resources. You want them in things that aren't very specific, like time sensitive, I should say. You don't want to put any of your veggie or orchard people in time sensitive jobs. Okay. Let's upgrade to small stables on these gents. Or just one of them. Let's pause. Let's start getting the stone. Where are you? Okay, yeah, stone over here. I want to upgrade this granary. We definitely want to upgrade everything we can. The upgraded granary gets more carts, by the way. Oh, it does appear that... Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. We have a lot of families. I did not realize things were going crazy for us right like that. Let's get a trade post up. Yeah, so the tavern could go in here. And we could have the brewer and the malt house. I think it's probably better to put it all up. Well, that's not true. The malt house and all that would be pretty darn dope here. We'll think about it. Okay, trade post. Now the trade post, I want, I think right here. But we need some logs. This is going to be a little interesting kind of build we do on the bottom, right? That way it's close to the storehouse, and it's also got road access to the granaries up there. This is beautiful. Alright, so we got 2 types of veggies that are going to start coming in. Got the hunting camp running pretty darn optimal now. Got one family there. I want to wait till both families are in. A lot of fuel. 1 timber. Okay, we should definitely max out the logging camp. Alright, we need to get these houses down here to tier 2. These houses to tier 2 for sure. Oh, I didn't realize. I gotta put my men back. Always forget that. Always get sidetracked. Okay, and no banditos. And we definitely need to get the storehouse upgraded ASAP. We can start trading these pelts. That's another reason why people like the hunting, the wild animals. Get that early game trade. We definitely need to get the trade post up ASAP. Alright, we have 44. We're going to order 1 more ox to help out. I think we definitely need the help. Alright, trade post right here. Let's get 1 more house down here in industry. I think this will be the last house. If we expand too quickly, we won't have enough food. Okay, we can get these guys to tier 2. Start getting bow production going. Trade post is up. Replace 1 family in here. Start exporting firewood, anything over 100. Start exporting all pelts. We're not going to keep any. There we go. Alright, we get this birch plot level 2 as well. Heck yeah. I love it when we get them to tier 2s like this. We're a large village. Over here we can get the cabbage. We need 206. Alright, up here we can upgrade these guys. Not going to. Alright, so the foragers are happy. We have a forager here and a forager here. So eventually, I play more of like a passive style, right? So I prefer to just have a set it and forget it approach where I just leave them up there even though they're not working. We have 7 families right now, so it's not really hard for us to do that. The storehouse, let's upgrade this. We now have stone up here. So let's get 1 in the stone gather. Actually, yeah, 1 in the stone gather is good. Got 6 free families. Alright. So the basic infrastructure is there now. We're sitting very pretty. We've done a fantastic job. The next things I like to do are just start pre-planning. So, yeah, I'm going to put the tavern here. And the reason it's important to pre-plan is you want to make sure that the families have moved into the house. Right? So, turn off the snap to the road tool. We're going to get 1 house right here. You got to be careful about where you place your gents sometimes. Go. Alright, this is going to be a brewer. And I like to couple my brewer with the mall house. It'd be lovely to get some sheep. Alright, yeah, we need to get the mall house. We need stone. Yeah, but we'll get these guys going. We're not going to do anything with it yet. We definitely need to upgrade this well. So we have a lot of stone needs. And actually, because we have a lot of stone needs, I just want to get all of it right now. Let's put 3 families up there, hauling that stuff in. Kind of holding us back a little bit. All right, this is beautiful. Look at that. We're selling firewood. We're selling pelts. Sky is blue. Everything is great. All right. Nice. We got this burgers plot. We'll need to get this to tier 2. That'll be the brewer. And people have asked me, why don't I do herb gardens? Because herbs aren't used for anything. You trade them. I already have enough items I'm going to be trading. I don't really want to add more things to haul. I kind of want to just hyper focus on the things that I can bulk sell in pretty large volume. So that's why I don't do that. There's nothing stopping you from doing anything. Just because I do something doesn't mean, you know, it's 100% correct. It's just I have a preferred playstyle, you know? Oh yeah. We're doing it. Logging camp's going strong. Upgrade this hitching post. But you can see, look at that. We're pulling in passive wealth. We're pulling in trade wealth. Everybody likes us now. This is going to be a cool city once I get it all flushed out. We definitely should probably get some chickens going. A part of me is crazy. And it wants to do crazy things like this, which is what we're going to do. We're going to add some more families because I think if we make them all chickens, that we can afford. Well, they'll basically feed themselves, right? Because they get 1 egg per month, so, and then occasionally chicken. All right, upgrade the granary. That's the first thing. Upgrade the well. The second thing we need to do. Beautiful. So now we have an upgraded storehouse. Get this to tier 2, definitely. This tier 2 house over here is going right into a boiler. The next thing we need to get up is likely... Ooh, lots of stuff. We do need to think about the future. So malt house up here. Yeah, right here. Ba-boom. More importantly, we need a bloomery. And they nerfed coal, so you're probably wondering why am I not selling and producing coal. They nerfed it. All right, let's get a road back here. So we got the blooms. And we're going to get ourselves up a smithy. Perfect. And we're going to have to start importing iron and making our own tools at some point in the future here. Got 93 wealth. So we're going to spend the majority on this. This is chicken money here, right? And let's wait till people move in before I start throwing that chicken money around, right? We got a family right here. Chicken. Because you don't get any chicken production. Ooh, bandit camp. Alright, we got a bandito camp all the way up here in the top. Let's see, how many archers can we get? 11? Okay. Let's go kill these banditos. Get some more moolah. Yeah, attract their movement. 365 days we're going to be attacked by some hungry banditos. I feel sorry for the bandits, to be honest. Like, we usually just murder all of them. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair at all. Okay, we're not going to tier 2 any of our chickens. If you go to tier 2, you consume clothing. If you do not go to tier 2, you do not consume clothing. So realistically, you have to ask yourself, do I want that passive money for the cost of clothing? You know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Now, one thing I will say is, if you're a tier 2 burgers plot and you have 80 approval, you get an extra +1 passive income. I kind of feel like passive income should be based on consumption of goods. Like, right? Like, the more you provide, the more income you get, kind of thing. So I think hopefully they'll remodel it because they need to incentivize certain activities, right? I don't feel incentivized. Okay. We're moving on up. We got 6 free families. Oof. Like, a lot of them are in the stone. You've got 14 stone left. Oh, it's full. Okay. I'm going to pull everybody out of the stone gatherer camp. Really no reason for it. We're going to place one more family into the large granary. And we're going to place one more family into the large storehouse to get the movement of goods increased. Because we have a lot of stuff that needs to be moved around. And let's come check out these chickens. We got a chicken for you. Guess what? You get a chicken. I am the Oprah Winfrey of chickens. Everybody, look under your seat. That'd be kind of that would actually be kind of terrifying if there was a live chicken under your seat that you just didn't know about for like a solid hour. I'd question a lot of my decisions in life if I couldn't identify a live chicken underneath me. But anyway, we're not here. We're not here for that. We're here for building. All right, we got any more families over here? No. Okay, yeah, I don't see anyone. 0, 0, 0. Perfect. Yeah, I should just look at that instead. All right, my gents are up here. They are ready. They smell the banditos. We're ready to shoot us some banditos. Now we just have to kind of inch a little close, and then eventually we'll piss them off. The banditos are very territorial. These banditos might be dead. Are these banditos dead? Oh, these are dead banditos. I should have looked before I came. Sometimes the Lord will kill the banditos. No, let's give it to the town, man. Like, let's get that agriculture going. I'd love to get some fruit. Alright, so now we can run back to town. I promise not... Okay, look at that. Got the quince. I hate these a lot. But I guess let's do it. So, yeah, we're going to get a little bit of the fruit going. It's always good to get that variety going sooner rather than later, right? No families have moved into those houses. Let's speed up. It has been 1 year exactly, and look how many families we have. It's incredibly easy now. Like I said, your balancing act in those first months is just getting as much food as possible. And wow, we're not keeping up with the killing. Or we're in the right period. I'm almost wondering if 200... Ooh. What if? What if... Well, it seems like they're supposed to be breeding all year round, right? It seems like sometimes my villagers... Waiting, getting fuel, waiting. Why are they waiting? They have no other job. Alright. Let's get our men back to work. I don't like this. Hunting. Transporting. Transporting. These people suck. There's all these rabbits over here to kill. A lot of wabbits. Hunting season, man. Go over there. I think you kind of do need 2 hunting camps, because even when things are optimal, they're not killing everyone. So you can get quite a bit. Alright, let's upgrade the small tavern. We don't have to do anything with it yet, but it's nice to get those things going. Alright, small stables, small stables. Let's order ourselves another ox. I have what is called ox addiction, I know. Go to Ox Anonymous. Alright, large storehouse. Saw pit going. Trade posts going strong. Smithy, bloomery. So far, I think we have 2 tools left, so we're gonna have to start importing a little bit of iron. Oh boy. Yeah, when you get... This is probably one of the harder parts, too. So you can just straight up import tools, right? Or you can import the raw iron. But look, the raw iron is 11. That's kind of a shit. I just realized that. Like, you're only saving 2. And you have to have the workers. You have to do this. I think I'm just going to straight up import tools, man. Why even make them? Why even make them? That is absurd. I do need iron, though, because I want to get crossbowmen going. But that makes me sad. I didn't realize how inefficient that little setup I had going. Because, yeah, I can just have tools trickle in. And if we come down to the import on iron slabs are 11. So, yeah, why would we ever import... Okay, but we have to buy a trade route to get those. They're a major trade. But, yeah. Huh. Maybe I'll just import... Right, let's get another family in the trade post. Now, they removed the passive pastures from farms. So, we have to think. One thing I'd actually like to do is start getting the farm plots up. So, yeah, unfortunately, barley would have been great there. There's a couple. Yellow is not bad for barley, just FYI. And I think what we're going to do is create a centralized area for all of our agriculture. This yellow zone, in my opinion, seems to be the best spot. So let's see what we're working with here. Let's go to the barley fertility. Yeah, so we're not going to do any farming in the yellow zone. We're going to do pastures. We're going to do all types of stuff. So let's kind of get a shape, right? this kind of circly area. Beautiful. All right, so this is the area that we want to use. Perfect. I just wanted to get kind of an idea. Okay, so this whole area right here is pretty much unusable. And that's perfect. We can get rid of this road down here. You apply it like such. And we're golden. So all of our farms can be based out of this general area. Have our sheep, have our pastures here. This is wonderful. So I kind of want to make this area look neat. So I think what we're going to do is have them back to back like this. Not enough goods. Yeah, we're going to need more wood. Not bad. And we're probably going to have a granary, windmill, and a bunch of other stuff in this area. So I feel pretty good about this being the farming area, and this being our sheep. Now, this is going to be one of the most important steps in everything because we need to start getting the sheep in here. Now, I'll just go over optimal plots. So if you want an optimal plot, like you want to have 1 billion sheep, right? You want to make them long and skinny like this to optimize your space. You only need 33 sheep to produce 66 lamb, which will produce like a little bit over 120 to 130 meat per year for you. So you see how one big one is 88 and one small one was 55. For us, we're going to want a bit of wool production. So I'm going to get rid of the snap to road. And we're going to do, so 66, that will get us up to 120 here. Right? So we kind of want to put the snap to road tool on now. It looks really wonky when you do it other ways. Now, I will also say that if we're going to do this right, we should do it right. The sheep farmer has to walk out into the middle of everything and pick it all up. So technically speaking, once something like, I'll show you. So let's get a bit of wood. Let's cancel one of the farmhouses. So what we want to do, make sure that our sheep farm is actually center of all of this. We're going to bring our road out. And it would be cool if I could get this to work. We could just, you know, do one giant area like such. It'll go up to 95. So we can go 66 here. Not bad. And then the rest of the space can get in 82. So that's pretty cool. So you can see how if I put it down here, he'd have to walk all the way to the top. Now the sheep farmer is central to the whole thing. This is how I would do this, okay? With that said, we're going to have most likely a whole textile industry area. We're going to need bakers over here. So a lot needs to be done. So over here, I think we're going to have houses for textile, all that jazz. Let's speed this up. This is going to be just our giant little sheep area. This will be our farming area, and this will be our farms off to the side. We're going to start making some progress there. Logging camp's maxed out at 3. I think we're also going to get up another logging camp. I think we're going to get him up right here. Beautiful. All right, let's upgrade these hitching posts and probably get some more ox. And next to the trade posts, we want to get up multiple hitching posts. Okay, so we'll put 2. That way the horses have a place. They did code it now so that horses and ox will gravitate towards the location of their work. That means even over here, because we're definitely going to be using plows, we're going to want a whole row ox right there. And here we can do multiple road systems like such. Beautiful. We're making good progress. All right, sheep farm. So the main thing now I need to do is get up a livestock trader. We need to start using some of our funds. Even just getting 2 sheep is really smart because you can you can get something going, right? They'll start breeding in the background. All right, do we got chickens over here? Yes. All right. So we want to focus on making sure we have food coming in. Beautiful. There's no family here yet, but I'm just going to do it anyway. I just don't want to have to keep checking in on it. Okay, and let's get 3 families in the logging camp here. We're just going to focus on getting as much wood as possible. Firewood seems to be in good order. We are trading a bunch of it, so... because we are trading a bunch of it, let's get 2 people in there for now. We'll pull them out once we stop trading. Alright, let's see. No banditos. Right, and we got 1 family right now in the forager. Got 1 family, so... Yeah, I'm noticing they're kind of slacking, right? Even with the 1 dedicated family. But we can come to our production tab. Oh my gosh, look at our woodland. So we definitely want to do pigs. Chance for wild animals to produce 2 offspring. And for berries and mushrooms to grow 1 resource more per clump. So we have the perfect environment. Oh my god. Tannery yield increase proportion to woodland environment. Wow, this is amazing. We have pretty crappy meadow. We're definitely going to need to get up some bees. Only 20% yield. 0% farmland, rural, and urban. I've never seen that before. So pigs would actually have been smarter than chickens. That's okay. I'll do chickens and then we'll do pigs next. Let's check out and make sure we have enough stalls. We do. We have a full thing of archers. Like I said, I think we're not going to even bother with the bloomery or anything. I think we're just going to apply the trade route and import. Okay. Livestock trader is up. So it doesn't matter what we do. We just need to get a couple of these guys in. I'm going to try to go for 5 or 6. I try to do this as early as possible just to get the ball rolling. And let's order another ox. Probably should order a horse here at some point. Alright, they're doing great. The wood is coming in strong. We have a total area of 157. I think that's kind of overkill. Probably should have actually dialed these in a little bit more. And we're going to do that. We don't want it to be so crazy that it's taking, you know, forever. I like the idea, potentially even having... Alright. I'm going to change this up a bit. I think that this is kind of a cool spot for housing. And I think that the sheep farm concept is smart. Needs to be revised. I think center here. The smaller we get it, the more efficient the workers will be. I don't think we're going to need anything more than 100 sheep. The more sheep we have, of course, the more wool. I want to have all the weavers and all the tanner and all that stuff, like a storehouse. I want to have all that operation over here. Let's upgrade these hitching posts so we can have 6 ox over here. Okay, they got rid of the gent. Sheep farm dead center. Let's have it going down. Got it centralized. Beautiful. And we're going to do 2. There we go. That's 59. And that's 67. Alright, cool. That's like the 100 we need right there. That's perfect. And we're going to have a butcher. We're going to have all types of jazz. Pause the game real quick. So I want to kind of start setting up what we're going to need over here. Now, I think 2 weavers is going to be sufficient. So I'm thinking weaver here. Weaver here. The road going down. Right? And the center of all of this will be a storehouse. Storehouse will have here. Beautiful. We're going to need 2 tailors and 1 boot. 3 houses in total. Perfect. This is actually pretty good. The weaver, there's the storehouse. There we are. Maybe throw in, I don't know, kitchen post. Got a little bit of room over here if we want to increase or expand anything. Tannery. We're also going to get hides off the sheep. Okay. So what we're going to need, in addition to all of this, I think I'm actually going to put him. Tannery over here. I just realized we're going to need a butcher. And if we want to get into sausage production, I'm not really sure that we need to. Let's just do it. Let's just get 2 houses. We're going to need a butcher in this area. Perfect. All right, livestock trader's going. 1 individual into the sheep farm. This is perfect. So this is a good setup here. And then we're just going to have a bunch of farmhouses. Yeah, let's get the plowing stations up. These. We're going to have a bunch. So we need to start thinking about the future. So we need a windmill. 100%. Good. So let's do that here. And the center right next to it, I'm going to want a granary. And then we're going to need 2 bakers. 1 for rye and 1 for wheat. And we're going to place these gents, honestly, right here. Okay, I would like to have a road, though. Okay, like that. I think this is great. Kind of box this up. Beautiful. And then over here, I think probably a few more farmhouses would be wise. These guys are going to be facing down. There we go. And down. And then we can have this road actually just run, boom, like that. And then we'll have another road right here. Perfect. Need to make sure I got that well up. All right, we upgraded the stone well. Perfect. Need to watch everything. Decent. This is going to be very, very decent. We're going to have a good setup here. Alright, now we just need to let everyone kind of do their thing. Get some people moving in there. How much food do we have? 13 months. Okay, we're at a point now where we need to just start building up the army. There we go. Let's get some piggy houses going. Let's get the additional... Well, I kind of want them to cut down the wood first, but this guy can go up. This burger's plowed up. This guy, I need to start mining iron. Let's come over here. At a minimum, we can get the iron, right? Perfect. Mine all this out. The forager's doing fantastic. Hunting camp's starting to keep up. The stone. Let's get the rest of the stone. There's only 14 left. Order another ox. Alright. We're getting the infrastructure. Most important step. We have 319 mushrooms. So, mushrooms need to start... We need to start trading mushrooms. They're spoiling. I didn't realize we had so many. They only sell for 1, but, you know, everything at this stage adds up. So we're going to get the trade post up to 3 families. We're going to dial out the logging camp to, honestly, 2 families in the furthest one. I think we're going a little hardcore there. Mine is up. I'm going to put 3 families in just to get it done. Another thing we have to take into consideration is this large storehouse is eventually going to get full. So let's get ourselves up another storehouse. Right here is actually good. Same thing with the granary. We're going to want to get up the next granary here soon. Alright, granary right here. I don't think we need any more market stall areas, but we have that capacity. Gonna do it. Boom. Okay, we're in business. Look at that, we got 2 sheep. Alright, we're gonna keep importing sheep. Get all that growing. Now that we have 2 granaries, that'll be fantastic. Everything's doing pretty decent. We need to start getting clothing going, a lot of stuff. The banditos are going to be here in 132 days. It's actually kind of impressive how much we've gotten done in such a short period of time. A storehouse. Upgrade you. Granary. Let's upgrade this granary. Alright, look at that. Got a solid amount of infrastructure coming up. So, I think we're at a stage where it would be wise to get the farm plots. Now, I've switched to a 1 Morgan farm instead of 0.5s. I found it saves a lot of sanity, but look at this. Look at all the beautiful land we have. Okay, so the livestock trader needs to go here pretty soon. I probably should have put him up there. Okay, unfortunately, I have to get rid of this livestock trader because he's right in the way of everything. I'll put him over here for now. Okay. So we're going to go down into 1 Morgan plots. 0.9 is good. 0.9 is just fine. And we're going to do this very uniform. And I'll go over how I rotate everything. I kind of just go until I can goes no more. Really, let's revisit this concept. I think it would be kind of good to have some kind of road system. There we go. There we go. Okay. Maybe we could go more than one Morgan. I've never tried it. I found that one is good. That's 1.9. That's too big. Let's see. How much space do we have in this entire area? 5.3. Okay. It's about 1.5 Morgans per. A little bit over on one of them. Just make them stubbier. Okay, 1.6. The problem is you can only have one ox. Yeah, 1.6 won't work. Right. This is where people are going to start hating me because I do actually feel like there is a perfect solution to this. And that's to measure it out in corpse pits. Okay. Okay. If I use a road tool, I eyeball it. Okay, see, there's a little bit of eyeballing needed in all of this. This is probably the best I'm gonna get it. There we go. That's pretty good. Right, so that's 1.4. Let's do 1.4. Let's try it out. Might be too much for the ox. It might not be. This guy's gonna be a little bit thicker. 1.5. That's not bad. 1.4, 1.4, 1.5. I actually like this. I'm going to keep the roads. Because that's cool. That's real cool. Honestly, I'm thinking the corpse pit might be the... Dude, I hate to be this... Actually, I love being this guy. The corpse pit is just... It's just so good. Look at that. Because you don't have to... I mean, you can use the lumber camp, too. Lumber camp's the same width. But one corpse pit is almost perfect. It's beautiful. There's just some things in life that are their destiny. And if you do it like this, yeah, you get a really good crop. Look at that. That gives us 6, so we can alternate them in 2s. And it's about, with the ox, it's about 1 family per Morgan. We're gonna need at least 5 or 6 families. Go crazy. Look at that, 1.4. I'm creating my own thing. You could easily line this up so that they're all 1s. But that's super simple. And the way we're gonna do this is a crop rotation of wheat and barley, right? And then the second and third, or sorry, the third and fourth, we're gonna go wheat and barley here. Wheat, barley, and then in the last guy, crop rotation, wheat in the third, barley in the first. Just like that. And you can see that rye, well, it says rye has 50% more fertility than wheat. It won't pop up while you're doing this, but... Alright, so now we have perfect fields there. And we need to get all this clay. We just kind of need to mine all the resources that we have out of these areas. But we're going to go this way with the other fields. It'll be beautiful. Right. And over here, we need to get more ox. You can have 2 per, so we're going to need quite a bit. Cool. Got some hitching post spots right there. We're doing fantastic. We're full up on wood. That's great. Saw pit's doing fantastic. Upgrade the storehouse. Buy another ox. Probably get a forester in here now. And most importantly, piggening. We need the pig. Let's start prepping the pigs. And let's see, I kind of got sidetracked earlier. We were going to check out records. So for meat, let's see how well we're doing. Go to past 12 months down here. We're only producing 68 small games. Something is going on. We should be hitting double that. So, I've noticed it a few times. They're not doing a fantastic job. We've spoken about this previously, like a few of us, that potentially here is 2 hunting camps. Because you can see they're just not hunting it fast enough as they're reproducing. It's going to 16. There they go. Sometimes they do a good job, sometimes they don't. Also, there's the fact that sometimes your storage just gets full and no one comes up to empty it. I'm just going to hire anybody. It's cool to hire someone from a forester on this guy. Or sorry, from the carrot farm over here. It's fine. If there's 2 of them, it's fine. But if you have 1 of them, you definitely want to make sure that it's dialed in. Alright. And these farm fields are looking sharp. Okay. Beautiful. We have 8 available spaces for people to move in. We have a little bit of cash flow. Get the livestock trader going again. We got 6 sheep. Bump this up to like 20. 6 is probably enough, to be honest, but I want to make sure we're good. But yeah, this was something I thought about a while back ago about. He physically travels outside the sheep farm, goes up to the sheep, pulls the wool. So if you can limit, it's just like with farms, right? You can. I wish I could design my farms like this, in fact. Because that would revolutionize that too, but we can't dictate where the house is on those burgages. All right, look at that, beautiful. Okay, we're gonna go to advanced tab. We're gonna start pulling out pretty much all the crafting from here, except for iron slabs or clay. Yeah, we want pelts. But everything else, commodities. There we go. These are all going to go into the other gent. So we need to replicate that. I'm going to put 1 family in here because I think it's time. We could try doing flax over here too. Okay. And then this gent over here, granary, and this large storehouse are going to be hyper-focused on clothing. And that's all they're going to do. Okay, no weapons, no fuel, nothing else. That's all we're going to focus on here. And the same with this granary. Crops, yes. None of the foods, except for bread. All the crafting materials are fine. I don't want any booze stored here. I don't want any of this stored here. Everything else is fine. And I'm going to leave the granary workers on the other side to collect everything. I'm going to try to test the logistics to see if they'll prioritize the closest stuff. Got a Bandito camp in both sectors he is going towards. I don't care. I know he gets influence and can take more grain, but I want my men working right now. I don't want to send them off on a little quest. We should probably get up the retinue for that. Okay, we got a granary here. Let's upgrade it. Alright. The banditos are here. We're going to center our gents. Coming from all the way over there. I believe we have enough to take all of them. The Lord's units are out actually right now, so sometimes he'll come in and help out. So they're coming. It looks like they actually are on a collision course, but we're just going to stay out of the way. Let's get 3 families into the mining clay pits. We have 7 months worth of food, which is not good. Definitely need to get some monies. Need to get the cabbage going as soon as we can. We have enough for another carrot farm, so I think we're just going to alternate them. Alternating always looks pretty good. If I can get carrots up over here, extra carrots would be pretty decent. We're trading some of the mushrooms. We got a big old wad of cash. Okay, yeah, here they come. See that they're in burn everything to the ground mode, which is their favorite mode and my least favorite mode. Pop up. Make sure that they don't start burning things down. They just need to see our units and they will disengage. There we go. All right. All right, some of the bandits have broken formation. This is looking good. I really actually do like the way these farms look with the roads in between them. Creates the bushes and stuff. Looks nice. Alright. So I want all of the bandits to attack the spearmen. Because by attacking the spearmen and engaging, I can then circle with my archers. Let's speed this up. Find these fights a little boring. Get behind the banditos. There we go. There we go. Right, there should have been more. I guess that was it. Bandits are dead. There should have been one more bandit, but I think he got caught up. Alright, we're good. And we got all the stone, so I don't need this guy up here. Fun is once you hit a certain stage, you just start accelerating really quickly. So the church needs to be upgraded. We need clay tile, we need mortar, we need dressed stone. Okay, so let's go back to our industry. Get a spot for dressed stone. Get a spot for the clay tiles. Mortar, we don't need to do. It's a minor trade. Go to your trade post. Go to mortar. Import 10 of it. Alright. Sign all the way. Let's order a horse. We could start selling bows, but they don't go for much anymore. Alright, let's double up the family over here. I think we need to let this go, potentially. Alright, we got a forester hut. Let's get him up. I don't think I'm actually going to set an area. I'm just going to let him do his forestry stuff. See if it works. They are supposedly, you know, fixing a lot of the code, so I want to see if they fixed it. Alright, we got 3 families over here. Got a good thing going on over there. The sheep are awesome. Alright, we have 10 sheep and 6 lamb. Nice. Okay. We're going to stop importing sheep. We're going to start importing ox. We need probably 20, actually. It's a lot easier to import them this way. Just make sure there's enough room for everybody. Henry's good. Okay, get some spacing. We got enough space for 6 of these guys here. It's a good solution. Probably get more ox. Nah, we got a lot, actually. We don't need too many. That's pretty good right there. 8 ox that are in this area. Oh, plus another. Yeah, that's a lot. Alright, the sheep are beautiful. Now you can see the one worker just has to go out there and pick up the wool. And we need to turn it into yarn. And we need to get one of these guys to tier 2 as fast as possible. So they need meat, fishes, or animal produce. That's why I think a lot of people like the goats for the milk, but I'm going to go for the piggies. I think it's going to bring us in a bunch. Piggy, 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 piggy. That was a bit of money. Alright, we got a second hunting camp. Let's put a family in. I just want to make sure that we're utilizing that to the best of its ability. I'm always afraid that they backdoor patch stuff too, so maybe they mess with wild animals, even though it wasn't in the patch notes, for all we know. One thing we do need to check out is sometimes the bandits are already all dead. Okay, yeah, so the bandits are already all dead. Let's go get the camp. It's free money. Run up, get that camp. And then there's another camp over here. This camp is also vacant. Okay. So that kind of reminds me, I think it's time. It's probably time to get up the manor. Where we get up the manor? I think we'll get the manor up over here in this clearing. I like it. On top of the hill. Oh, dude. Literally right here. It's almost like they're telling you to put the manor here. Right? Alright. Garrison tower. And commit. There we go. Yeah, that's beautiful. Perfect. Make sure these guys are running. They can easily run. We'll hit both of them. Send the money back to town. Buy some ox. Feed my crippling ox addiction. Alright. Yep, nearest town. And we'll run up here and get the other guy. Beautiful. Alright, with that money, we should try to see if we can get anything. Nope. Can't even afford the carrots. Wow, 144. Alright, I'm gonna pull out of the livestock trading post just for a second. I don't want them purchasing anything. You see all the ox are obeying traffic laws. But we need to get some meat. Let's see, do we have enough granary workers for stalls? Yes, we do. Food variety is hurting us a little bit. Small game. Yeah, as we produce more of other goods, we'll reduce our meat consumption, so that will help us. So we probably need to get into the other guys too. We're going to need a lot more folk. We're going to expand our farming into two different periods. Right now, this is what we're going with. Yeah, there's down. There we go. All right, let's send our gents back home. Double time. And let's see. I'd prefer to get apples. Oh, look at that. We can get apples. Get the apples. Need to get them going now, so in 3 to 4 years we actually have them. Make sure everybody's obeying the traffic laws. No one's getting stuck. They can get a little stuck here, so this can become a problem. So far, so good. Okay. We'll look back at meat here soon. Looks like clay is taking a little bit of time, but that's alright. The clay furnace, let's put a family in there. Probably switch to coal just to make everything last a little bit longer. Coal's main advantage is you don't deforest everything, essentially, as quickly. No longer a trade item. I mean, you can trade it, but you're not going to make much compared to other endeavors. Go. I think I'm going to do an angle here, like that. Okay. Okay, one family here, just so we start filling both of the granaries. Things are looking up. Disband our men. Sitting there for a bit. Alright, yeah, let's focus all of our money into getting these fields up. This is bad. We gotta get this stuff going. I'm sure the Quincy's are helping out quite a bit. Quince. However the heck you say that word. Alright, we got a bit of eggs. We got a bit of pork. We should be getting a lot of pork here soon. Got 3 available living spaces. Looks like we got 24. Perfect. Start seeing a little bit of wool. We have 74 yarn. Okay, so we need to get these guys into clothing production. I'm really surprised that meat's lacking. Isn't making a whole lot of sense. But realistically, we just need to get more production of everything. All right, let's get charcoal going. I either put 2 families into the woodcutter, right, and I pull the 1 family out of the woodcutter, and now we're producing the same amount of firewood, same amount of people, and we're cutting down less trees. Beautiful. All right, things are going our way. Got one on the forester, doing the logs. I think things are good over here. We're gonna need a bit of families for this spot over here, so I'm just gonna keep adding. I think we need more pigs. So let's add another row of housing. Get more piggies in here. Also, I need this for the farm district. We need to get this guy up. Might have to destroy the farm, move it over there. So I can get these houses to tier 2. Sometimes I'll destroy markets and do that. It might actually be a reason why I want to kind of stay away from some of this stuff. I have a feeling, though, we're going to be up and rolling. Alright, let's get the second carrot farm going. More food coming in. Okay, yeah. So you can see the sheep are really springing out, and we're doing fantastic. Alright, let's look at trade a little bit more. Let's get ourselves a horsey, and let's see what we can mass trade. Rooms are sitting pretty. Once we get into bread production, that's going to be where the money comes from. We got a bit of iron ore. We should probably start working on crossbowmen, actually. Let's get the smithy going. Let's get the bloomery going. And let's get this guy going into a blacksmith. Beautiful. Actually, wait, we don't need to get the smithy going. We just need to get the bloomery going. We're importing all our tools. Okay, yeah, these are huge plots. All right, yeah, the meat's starting to flow in. The meat won't happen until the families start producing. It's okay. We're getting close. I need to get a tailor up. This is looking good, though. It's looking sharp. Okay, and as people move into these gents, let's just get them ready. I think pigs are where it's at because of our affinity. We have like a chance to get basically twice as much meat. Pretty crazy. Eventually, we could even sell the meat if we wanted to. Now we're missing out on that. If we got the approval up just a tad bit, we'd be in good shape. The manor is now up. We can start taxing, which we should. Let's do 10%. Start building up our retinue. Blacksmith shop is up. So we're going to make iron parts, and we're just going to make 10 or 20. Come back over here. Start producing crossbows. Set a cap of 40. Recruit our first crossbow unit. Beautiful. All right. We're moving on up. Crossbows are the best. Hands down. All right, the money is flowing in. Kinda. We need to get bread going. So as these families move in, we should probably actually try to jack up our happiness to 75% to more families coming in. But you know what? I'm just going to chill. We're just going to let it happen naturally. Order an ox. All right, let's make sure that each of these farmhouses is ready to go. All right, we're gonna need 8 ox. That's how we need more ox. Okay, so I do actually need to put a family into the livestock trader. Start ordering more ox. You can see he walks out, right? He gets the wool, and then he brings it to storage. They used to bring it inside. What is he doing? Is he walking all the way around? Oh, he's walking all the way around. All right. So we saw what just happened there. He needs a road system. Okay. So we're gonna do something here. Now that we're understanding how the logistics work, what you actually want are 4 roads. So we're gonna delete this. We're gonna delete this. And this is what you want. You need quick access from each of it. So we're going to have 4 quadrants. This will allow him to go onto a road and hook back in as fast as possible. This is what you do. Yes, the efficiency. So this is awesome. All right, so that also gives us room for more. And this looks nice. This doesn't look... I don't really like the way having like 40 strips works, even though I know you can fit 1,000 sheep in the same space. It does look bad. And you gotta wonder what that's doing to your performance. Okay. So get rid of the pasture. Boom. Look at that. That is clean. So now he's gonna walk out. He's gonna grab it. And he's gonna have a road that he can hook right onto. So if he does walk all the way over here, he's gonna hook back. Circle's probably one of the better designs for this then. I like the way that looks. It also just gives more access to all other sides. Beautiful. Okay, and as we progress, we can put more and more families. Let's see. Are they coming out to 10? Are they coming... Yeah, she's just sitting there with her cane. But what I want to see is someone getting wool. This is pretty neat. Alright, well, we'll come back and look at that later. Not bad. We need to see is if we can get a weaver up. We can get a weaver up, we can get happiness up. Keep it going. We're deforesting the world over here. I think I'm going to get 2 people in the forester. Okay. And we will... I think I'm just going to purchase the piggies if I can. That way I don't have to come back here and think about it again. And I prefer meat over animal produce because at the higher tier, you need meats. At the low tier, nah. But higher tier, you do. Alright, well, we could at least get the hooch going, huh? There we go. We're starting to see the meat spread. Alright. We do have a lot of families, and we could start cutting down more stuff. So, well, we could sell planks. Don't really want to sell planks, but... crossbows wouldn't make too much money. Firewood's doing okay. Small shields can sell for quite a bit. Once we get into bread production, that's when it goes crazy. Could sell yarn. But it only sells for like 2. Sell clothing. Okay, you can see the crossbowmen are gaining speed. Yeah, so see, a tier 2 needs meat or fish. Animal produce or fruit. Fruit's much easier to do than animal produce. That's why I shy away from the goats. You can get enough hides once you start butchering. Butchering, honestly, might be the smartest thing we could do right now, but we need to get a tier 2. Yeah, we should probably just start butchering right now. You need 33 sheep. And then you can produce the maximum offspring per year. So you only just need 33. Literally just get rid of all the lambs. Lambs and sheep right now make the same amount of meat. Didn't used to work that way. Maybe sheep had more meat, and who knows, that could change in the future. All right, 11 families. Okay. All right, you can see the meat is spreading. I'm really surprised that we're not getting, especially with 2 individuals, small game, and it's only 64. And it should be twice that. Especially with teaming. It's almost like oh, dude, I need to lower it because they're producing 2 off. You see, I see that now. Like, it was producing so many offspring that I wasn't getting. I think I actually need to lower it. The more animals you have, though, the faster they reproduce. But I'm wondering if we need to go to 10 or even 11. Let's try 11. Let's try going down one at a time. Let's try even going up, but I feel like we're losing because it's double, you know. We're missing out on all those. Well, let's watch it. The wabbits. But that's actually also another way to get the meat coming in. I just killed a bunch of animals, so there's a lot of meat coming in. Yeah, it just bounced up to 11, down to 10 again. All right, we're set on 11 though. Why did it do that? All right, I'm gonna let them get back to work. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Tier 2. All right, so let's get every single one of these houses to tier 2. While we can. Need to get one of these houses over here. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is going to be a little cheap. We're going to set the limit. This is going to hurt temporarily. We're going to set the limit down to 4. And we're just going to get a big influx of meat. And we're going to hopefully upgrade everybody. I'm going to hold off on this guy. What I need are these guys over here. All we're missing is meat or animal produce. I guess animal produce is good for that. Okay, cool. Yeah, 5, 6, 5, 6. All right, perfect. And if this doesn't work, we're screwed. No, but at a minimum right here, this means I can get the tailor up. Start getting clothing production going. I should have just moved the market stalls. Okay, we're booting him back up to 11. Oof, we cleaned that meat out. All right, let's upgrade this burgers plant. I'm trying to get the bread maker going up there. Okay, so this isn't working out for me. So we're gonna do something a little dangerous here. I think it actually looks like I need more granary workers. Not dangerous. We're just gonna move the market stall over here. The fastest way. It uses proximity to determine who gets what first. Let's do that. And yeah, for sure. Let's get 4 families over here. We got a lot of food now. This will work. These are the closest houses, so we'll upgrade them. I just need to get the bread going. They still don't have meat. Okay, here we go. I should have just done that from the beginning. I just didn't want to have to do it. Okay. Now we can get this. Alright, now we can get up a marketplace. Both these spots kind of suck now. Get the 1. 11? Alright. There we go. We're back in business. Okay, now we have the capacity. Alright, so the tailor should be making clothing from wool. Make sure that's happening. We can have a max amount of sheep of 165. We have 17 ox now. Boot that up to 24. Getting close. 10 families. Let's see, we got all of the clay. I think we can get the church to tier 2 now. What are we missing? Oh, 20 dressed stone. Okay. So for dressed stone, unfortunately, we will need to import raw rock. Rough stone. Do 10 at a time. I got 12. Alright, we're ready to rumble. We definitely have enough ox to assign every one of these. And I think what we're going to do... We only need... Oh, crap. Yeah, we don't need that many. Right now. Let's do 3 families in each. Because we only have 4 fields that need to be plowed every year. And let's just do this. 6 families there. Alright, 1 family here. A baker. Another thing we need to do is switch one out to wheat, one out to... 1 wheat, 1 rye. That's just the way it's going to work. 1 wheat, 1 rye for now. Wheat's better. You get twice as much, but... There we go. 1 rye. Alright. And get this guy up too as a baker. 2 bakers. Alright. Over here, we need to get up a butcher. But we need some monies. Butcher is going to revolutionize the world for us. You can see how many houses we can get to tier 2 right now. It's pretty good. Definitely get this burgers plot over here. Going to tier 2 increases the burgers plot size. So that's one reason why it's pretty beneficial. Alright. We got a little bit of food. We got a little bit of fuel. We probably need to stop trading. We're going to stop trading our fuel. Go. There we are. Okay. I feel like we're good now. Everybody's doing a great job. Let's see how many crossbows do we have? 28. Alright. We're getting rid of the archers. Getting a 2nd brigade. Alright. Wheat bread. Rye bread. Alright, well, we got clothing production going. 8. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, over here. Ah, crap. Okay, we got this guy. Alright. Brewer. We need to get one in the malt house. This is going to be a problem with the malt house and everything over here. I probably should have built it over here. That's okay. I think it's still going to be just fine. Alright, marketplace. Let's get some more stall area. There we go. Make sure we have enough stalls. Alright, the piggies are winning. Once we start slaughtering too, that's going to be huge. Alright, we got 50. I'm going to do a butcher right here. Beautiful. Let's see, how many sheep do we have? 19 sheep, 26 lamb. Once we start slaughtering the sheep, meat will never be a problem again. It's actually kind of insane how good sheep are. But the piggies are awesome too. Definitely feeding a lot of us. Keeping us up with meat. Bread production is going to be pretty essential here in a second. Alright. In your first harvest, so you can see, look at wheat compared to rye. So, oosh. Yeah, rye's not so bad anymore. They upgraded it in the patch that just came out yesterday. Little hot fix, so they're trying to balance things out now. I think I need to get a 2nd family up here in the forager hut. Alright. We are kind of maxing out. We need more families. Go down to 1 in the logging camp. Take out the gent in the clay furnace. Bloomery, I'm just going to keep going. And we're importing the stone, making the dressed. Like we're ready to get up another one of our burgers plots over here now. I think we're just going to start getting them all up. I want to start getting the foundation. Alright, everybody has water access so far. Alright, the butcher's going now. So, oh shoot. Alright, so for the sheep, we want to reserve 30. And no lambs. Or 33. I'm going to set this to 50 because I want a bit of wool. So 50, kill all the lambs. Now the problem with this... Oh god, we have 9 sheep. The problem is they just went through and just murdered everything. Okay. Just for a second here, we're not going to do anything. Oh my god. They killed like all my sheep. I was not paying attention. You gotta be really careful when that guy goes up. Well, the good news is we definitely have meat now. 450 mutton. Okay, well, let's start upgrading if we need to. Alright, yeah, we should definitely take advantage of the fact that we just slaughtered everything that we worked hard for. Beautiful. Good, it's a great day. Alright, over here we need to get the boozening. Brewers up. Small house is going. Let's get one family in the tavern. This is fantastic. Alright, let's double these burgages. Make sure we have enough room for all the new people we're going to need. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about, though. This is easy to get in and out of. The granaries are perfect. Nice. Alright. Soon we'll have a ton of stuff over here. We're going to get our first haul in. It'll be great. Make sure these guys are all tier 2. 43 clothing. Quite a bit of yarn. Not bad. I think the one worker is working out for us right now. Just make sure we don't have anything weird going on. We don't. Alright, the sheep are recovering. My dignity is not recovered. This is great, though. I think we're doing pretty decent. Alright. Yeah, it looks like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like 1.5 Morgans isn't so bad with the ox. Now remember, the ox will also come out and help pull back stuff, so they come out to help move the goods back. I think we're doing okay with the amount of families we have. Quite a bit. They're working hard. This will be good. Now we're going to get the bread. This is when the game's going to really start picking up for us. And let's make sure we get the veggies out here. And we get the orchards over here. We're just going to alternate them. It looks cool. I actually don't think we need to go any further than this, to be honest. We have it kind of awesome right now. This is like quite a bit. We definitely have the capacity to, though. I'm wondering, I wish we could go sideways, you know what I mean? Wish we could go sideways. Alright. The armies are up. Here we go. Looks like we made it. Alright, look at them go. Yeah, so you can see that they're plowing. Plowing pretty decent. Not bad. They're getting a good chunk of it. But they can't start seeding until they're done plowing. But I think they're actually getting a large swath of it. Seem a little faster. I'll let them do their thing. As long as they can keep up with it. 1.4 might be my new go-to. Get this guy up to tier 2. This is looking pretty sharp. Nice from space. We need tier 2 church and booze. And all those things are coming right now. So tier 2 church right there. No dang. The brewery is the only building that can go to tier 3. I kind of want to do it. Do it. Alright, the taverns. The booze is flowing. Let's get 2 families in there to move the booze faster. Nice. We're at almost 100% on everything. Got the clothing, got everything going on. I think, let me think about this a second. Yeah, we got him with his own little thing. We got a ton of clothing. Says I don't need any more, but I think we should probably do one more. Mostly just to get food runners. Let's do one in each. Alright, here we go. Now the tier 2 phase. And now we can start getting into some better trades. All churches. What's interesting is when you upgrade the small church, it automatically gives everyone tier 2. I don't think that's intended. Like, it automatically assumes that you have tier 2 for upgrade purposes. That's another cool thing about, you know, going with the development point we took for Regenberg Guildman, is that it reduces Burger's plot upgrade costs. Half the construction. Half of it. Awesome. But so far, we're still waiting. Coming soon, coming soon. I can't wait to get the more perks. Okay, we no longer need the stonemason. We no longer need the raw stone coming in. And that. Yarn. I think clothing might be an interesting one to try to sell, to be honest. but I don't think we produced enough of it to make it worth our time. I think linen, you can still do 3. I like to do fallow. I like to give it a period off just to reduce the amount of workers, but I mean, we technically could get linen going. All right, small church is done. Okay, so we want to go to tier 3 on all of the farming burgage plots. That will increase the amount of workers, and it will also increase pantry. So I'm wondering if we're going to run out of clay tiles. Oh wow, look how many we got. We got all of them. All right, we're... Oh, they just didn't have the requirement. They're not tier 2 yet. They have no one living in them, that's why. Okay, cool. Got a bunch of tier 3s coming up. Okay, well, with the tier 3, that means we need to start making boots. Get one in the tanner. And let's get a cob. Get the cobbler up now. Alright, tier 3, here we come. That's a lot of available. We have 25 available living space. Oh my god. Nice. Good amount of barley. Good amount of everything. Alright, you can see we're going fast. And so this is the interesting part about having the inner peasant area, right? Is we can just mass produce anything we want. I kind of like the chickens for that reason. Let's get that going. More houses going up. Our inner area. Alright, granary there. Granary there. Circlet. Market stall plots. Make it look all fancy. Yeah, the church is actually pretty decent on its own. I'm just gonna like throw in a graveyard basically in the back here. Right next to the well. Good to know where my water's coming from. I didn't think about that. Okay, I think I placed enough of them. I don't know what that's going to do to my performance. There we go, though. Alright, look at that. We have boots now, and everybody's happy. So they definitely made it a little easier. Let's come over to our boots. We're not going to set a limit on boot production. Fine. Look at that. We got a lot of good tier 3s. Okay, we got that money coming in now. Go 6. I think getting to a point where I can start selling carrots. Perfect. Okay, so carrots are pretty lucrative. In fact, we're growing all 3 food groups, right? We're gonna mass produce and sell carrots. It's a really good way to make money. I'm thinking it's gonna be the way we save ourselves. We're gonna save this village with carrots. We're gonna come down here, export. We're gonna export anything over 100 carrots. We're gonna buy the trade route when we can. They sell for 3 a pop. It's pretty good. Oh my god, so many notifications. There we go. So now it looks like a graveyard. It looks pretty dope. There we go. Yeah, we got our mass graves around our town center. It's beautiful. All right. Yeah, everything's doing great. We got the bakery going. Like, looks like the boozing is one of the harder things for us. You don't really need to get too many houses at tier 3, to be honest. I tend to only do it for farms and certain buildings. Now, if you want to, you can. It's just a little expensive. You do get a little bit more passive wealth, but I've personally found trade to be a much better way to make money. Get 4 families in here. Get ourselves another horse. Okay, we got a bunch of angry banditos coming from the north. We're gonna meet them out over here. We have more than enough to destroy them. You don't even really need too much of a force for these guys. They're pretty puny. There we go. All right, we're ready for them. They're coming right at us. We gotta let our sheep kind of recover. We have no yarn or anything because we just ate up all the sheep with that butcher. All right, 12 sheep, 21 lambs. What's going on? We have a reserve. Okay. We have the trader. Ah, I didn't put the import back on. Import up to 50 sheep. Okay, hold on a second. We just killed... Okay, we killed one of them, sorry. We just got the money we needed. Alright, so we need to get the cabbage going. And we need to get the pears going. Over here, though, It's just going to be carrots, carrots, carrots. All right, here they come. Oh yeah, the crossbowmen are going to make mincemeat out of most of these gents. They don't really stand a chance. All right, this guy's running away. These guys are dead. This guy's dead. It's not even a... Honestly, it's a nuisance more than anything. Especially because the dead bodies like make everyone kind of pissy. Okay, we're moving on up in the world. We're making that money. Alright, we have enough to buy the carrot trade now. We're in the carrot business. Go, let's buy the trade route. We have 8 months worth of fuel, so it does appear I need to look. I have charcoal, firewood. Let's get 2 people in the charcoal kiln. Get 2 people in the woodcutter lodge. Kind of cutting through everything here. Pretty much everybody can go to tier 3, which is beautiful. Yeah, you can see definitely rye doing decent. I feel like we're good there. We'll keep ordering sheep back up to where we were. Alright. Alright, we're gonna go the distance now though. And we're gonna finish out the design. There we go. Beautiful. The shield 3.0. Well, this is the basic shield. I like this a little bit better than my other designs, but it takes pretty much everything I've learned and throws it all into one pot. And yeah, we actually didn't need these extra farmhouses unless we want to go the distance. You know I like going the distance. And we're definitely going to have to. So let's use our patent pending corpse pit technology. We're just going to kind of wing it. This will give me 6. I need 7, 8, 9 is what I need. Okay, we need 9 if we're going to do this right. How long are these? That's about right. Bottoms. Okay. We're going to have 9, which means we're going to have 6, which means we need 1 more farmhouse for the oxen. What we want are everything being plowed at the same time to make sure that we get out in time to seed everything. Well, here we go. I have him just facing this direction. Perfect. Okay, so you can see we have all of our roads up. We have all of our plots. Gonna bring the road like such. Go. We got this little bonus area in between, which I personally want to fill with something, and I don't know what. I'm thinking ox. This is kind of just for show. Maybe a bunch of stables. It's kind of just more of a cosmetic thing. Go. Okay. We're going to do 9. So sets of 3, just like we did up top. The only difference is we're going to do 2 wheat and 1 rye. And we're doing that because wheat produces more bread. I mean, it's almost negligible, right? But that's just... I also want to sell the bread. So we're going to sell the wheat bread, not the rye bread. But we're getting a little low on the booze. That's another reason why I want to do this. Here we go. There we are. Okay. Now we got more farms. So wheat and barley on these first 3. Well, on the third one, we're going to do rye and barley. And then the same thing. Wheat in the first, barley in the third. Sorry, wheat in the second, barley in the third. And on the third guy, we're going to do rye in place of wheat. Boom, wheat. Barley. Wheat, barley. Rye, barley. There you go. Beautiful. Perfect. Now we just need to get 2 families in each, really. I don't think we need extras here. So I'm going to pull them back, and we'll place them into this farmhouse over here. So we'll have 2 families in each, with livestock assigned to all. That's perfect. And we have more than enough room in the stables behind. Just make sure that we're not pulling too much. Yeah, we have 18 free oxen right now. 18 sheep. We're getting back up there. We got 20 piggies. Good. Get this up. Right now we're going to have a little bit of an inefficiency, but it's okay. Oh, actually... Oh, yeah, because they already plowed those fields over there. Okay. Yeah, these are great. Yeah, these are about... I think these are actually about 1.3s. They're a little smaller. I think that might... Look how quick they did these, too. Wow. I think this is the holy grail. Alright. So 2 families in here. Upgrade it. Highest priority. Everything's doing hunky-dory over here, too. Got a good amount of everything going on. Okay. Well, now we need to spend some serious boards. Like I said, I just want this as a cosmetic more than anything. And given what we are, right? I'm pretty certain pigs are the best, but we're gonna go apiary on the backs over here. You get a max of a 10% bonus. You get 2% per. So we're gonna go the distance to do apiaries in the back there to get that bonus. 10% bonus based on how much agriculture we're doing is pretty darn important. Okay. And then we're going to assign the 2 livestock. Perfect. Everything is lining up beautifully. Alright, we need a little bit more fruit going on. Okay. Here. The money's starting to add up. I think the carrot trade's going to save us. Eventually we're going to start trading out bread too. All the way over here though, that's the problem. Okay. Hopefully we have enough people proceeding. Hopefully everything is interconnected. We should definitely have inner areas for them to move every so often, because they're gonna move between each other to help each other out. That looks pretty good to me. Here. Here. Here we are. Much better. Okay, so I think we're good over there. If we have any issues, I can come over and look at it. We're going to have a little bit more family, so I'll likely throw a couple people over there. As long as none of these gents are working in the farm fields. Warehouse worker, charcoal burner. I'm unassigned. I'm happy with all of that. Trader, those are beautiful roles for you guys. Kind of, actually, probably not. Warehouse, granary worker, I'm honestly okay with it. Herder, ooh, no. Farmers, yeah. So what you want to do here is just start moving everybody out in between your burger spots. That's it. That's simple. Just move everybody out from farm. You don't want any of these guys in farm fields. This is good looking right here. This is looking sharp. I'm actually thinking right here we don't have any hitching posts. For some reason I want to put a house here. I don't know why. I'm going to put a house here. Make it look aesthetically a little bit more pleasing. Alright, it looks like we need way more lumber. Well, the forester's working at least. You know what? Here's the thing. I think even though I told it just go everywhere, I don't think it did. I think I have to set it. It's kind of weird that it didn't plant trees anywhere else. I'm glad I got 2 charcoals. Okay, food's coming up. 228. Alright. See, okay, we got everything over there. What I really need to do is get these pears up. Alright, food's coming in pretty sharp. Rye bread is pretty high. Honestly, why not trade both the breads? I'm thinking. Wow, 79 pork. Okay. I feel like pork is something we can trade. Let's buy a route. When it's over 100. Wheat bread when it's over 100. I'll buy the route. If I can. Rye bread when it's over 100. Sells for 3. Okay. Yeah, wheat sells for 5. Rye doesn't sell for as much. Okay. Mushrooms, we're sitting at 1. We're going to stop selling mushrooms. And continue to sell carrots, of course. I'm feeling pretty good about those decisions. I think that will lead to a lot of money. And me money like. Okay. So pull one out of here. Pull one out of here. Put him here. Put him here. We need raw stone. We need to start importing the basic stone so we can make some simple upgrades. Purple stone. 20. You don't have to buy a route for any of that stuff. The cool thing about it. Alright, we need 120 for rye bread. Cool thing is we can trade a little bit at a time right now. And because we're going to have a lot of it. Quite a bit. Oof. I don't think I have enough workers. Or sometimes your first crops are always pretty bad. That kind of makes me say it. Alright, we're in good shape. I think we're going to get a second forester hood up. We just need to get more people planting. Alright, yeah, with the addition of bread, that's really going to help us out in a lot of areas. Also, we're going to have more piggies here soon, too. Alright, look at that. We should probably start... Oof. Yeah, the Lord's going to try to come for me soon. Alright, let's get the apiaries up. That will help us increase our yields across the board. Beautiful. And you can't do anything with wax or honey anymore. I really hate bringing stuff. I feel like I have enough to trade. We don't want any wax or honey. I just won't buy trade routes for them, so that's alright. Trade it straight up. Alright, perfect. Alright, we're back up to 36 sheep, which is perfect. That means we're making enough lambs. Okay, now we can start slaughtering again. So we're not going to have any lamb reserves. And I'm going to keep a reserve of 50 sheep. Actually, let's... Nah, yeah, 50 sheep. And I'm just going to have... I'm going to buy them. There, cool. We're awesome. That's perfect. Alright, so you can see that he's... What is she doing with that sheep? Going somewhere. The lamb is following. Lamb is following. Alright, so here he's bringing back the wool. Putting it in. Okay, so he's going out into the field. Grabbing the wool. He's bringing it straight back. Okay, so this design solved the problem. Or we saw him doing this weird ring around the rosy thing. So now he's like super duper efficient. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. In and out. We should definitely get 2 families involved in this, though, because we have a lot of wool. I'm going to get 2. Looks like the storehouse just came with his cart to pick up the wool. Everything is... Oh, yeah. So that he came down here. This is perfect. We have 184 clothing. Well, we could probably afford... I mean, they only... we could probably afford a few more houses at a tier 2 or tier 3 if we wanted to. Alright. Okay, things are going our way now. I think we need more families down here. I'm gonna go with 3. 3 per. I feel like we're not getting things seeded fast enough. Also, we hate... Like, why not, right? They're sitting around. Okay, do that. So that's 1, 2. We have 15 families for 15 fields, and you need one per one. You need 1 family per 1 Morgan when you have oxes, but these are 1.5s. So yeah, all said and done, this is about right. Yeah, we have about 15 Morgans. I think we have about like 22. Yeah, like 22 Morgans at any given time. So a third of that. Yeah. That's about right. Might need 1 more family. But this is looking pretty sharp. You can see this field is not full. It's telling you the percentage of it ready. Here we go. 93. We're almost done. Alright. 99%. So now we get the max yield. So the percentages are telling us, hey, have they seeded this? Let's just take a peek around. You can see this one. This rye field over here is just started to get seeded. Some of these guys over here need some love. Okay. Let's put 1 more family. Okay. And we'll see what they can do with that. There's quite a bit of them. They should be able to handle it, but it's better safe than sorry in a lot of situations. Alright, carrots over here for the carrot trade. Soon the money's going to flow. Especially with when bread picks up here in a second. It's a pretty short distance for the trader to go get more stuff to sell. Kind of feel like maybe the trade post be closer to this area over here, though. We're not really selling any industry items. Okay. I'm going to destroy the trade post. And I'm going to move it. I don't think we need this pasture here. I'm going to destroy the pasture here. I think the trading post would make more sense here. It's close enough. The carrot trade is over here. The bread trade and everything's over here. It's a good middle ground. We're going to place it over here. We have more than enough space. We have way more than enough space. But the meat's going to start... yeah, the meat's going to come in like crazy now. 362 carrots. Okay. So all that jazz. And yeah, we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Everybody. Alright, let's upgrade these granaries over here. Let's also get up 4 hitching posts around this area for the horsies. This is the highest priority. And this area down here is fine. Let's get 1 forester in here. Have them kind of double up this whole area. Start getting stuff planted. Alright, trade post is back up again. Get everybody here. Sign all the livestock. We only really needed 2 of these, but I'm going to do 4. I like the way it looks. Alright, this is perfect. This is a little bit more of a middle ground between the 2 granaries. I think things will go faster, especially like honey and things like that. I don't know why they're doing honey over here. Let's turn honey off. Not be doing honey. Alright. We got 12 wool, 70 yarn, 187 clothing, 35 shoes, a little bit of booze. That's going to change now that we have a little bit more barley coming in. Okay, and let's get these guys up for pigs. Since we are in the pork trade. Right, it's a little cold. I think we can deal with that. Alright, piggy time. Let's just get him in there. Try to get 22 free families. So we have 22 available living spaces. This is pretty good. So far we have 209 pop. Alright, I think we're going to get up the butcher to tier 3. And the tailor. Honestly, every one of these major houses over here can be tier 3. We have a lot of boots, so I'm just going to do it. Same with the crafters. I usually don't do this, but I'm just doing it. We have plenty of resources. Piggy, piggy, piggy. Beautiful. Alright, there we go. 16 months of food and fuel. This is looking sharp. I like it. Really cool looking. Kind of like the line. They really made getting the orchards and everything really expensive, though. That kind of is a drag. Let's check out the meat situation one more time in records. So 12 months, small game, 55. I don't know what's going on. It must be... They must have nerfed something pretty hard. So let's try 13. I know you want to keep their population high. They reproduce faster. Look at that. That's beautiful. Alright, piggies in the back. Alright, we got piggies all around now. Alright, yeah, now that trade's over here, I think it's going to go faster. We got the bread, we got the carrots, we got the honeys. Could definitely sell clothing. We're almost at a point where we need to... You know what? Screw it. We have too much. And we're going to have more. Let's do 100... Anything over 140 we sell. And establish a trade route. Money's money. Oh god, we have 427 war bows. God. Okay. Well, let's sell war bows too then. It's only 2 a pop, but when you have a billion of them... They did not put a cap. Yeah, our cap's not going to be that. Do 100. Okay, I think we're in good shape. Do 1 more crossbow unit. There we go. We got max crossbows. Let's hire out the retinue. We're sitting pretty... 3 crossbow units will take pretty much anything that comes at us. Alright, the tailor. Everybody's doing great. And it looks like we did seed everything. That's good. Should have a pretty good harvest. Oh yeah, the bakers definitely need to be tier 3. Double up the families producing stuff for us. And let's get 2 families in the windmill. Livestock traders going bye-bye now. 8 free families, wow. I think I'm gonna get 3 people in the sheep farm. See if that has any impact. Don't think it does. And all these houses over here need people to move in. Okay, look at that. We got that pear money finally. Only took 3,000 years. And then we need to get up all these apple farms. I think over here I'm going to do all apple farms, and we're going to sell apples in addition. Okay, so because we're doing great, I think what we want to do is put 2 families in each of these. Yeah, minimum of 2 families in each of those. That will help us out a lot. And then down here, let's put 3 families down here. Yeah, 3 and 3. That's beautiful. Really only need the 1 there. Really only need the 1 here, too. Although, 2 families wouldn't kill us. Might help us out with the bread stuff. Alright, cool. So we're back up into the 100%. Food and general variety, 100%. Perfect. Got the carrots going out. Everybody's happy. Alright, apple time. So we're definitely going to start selling apples here in a bit. Go to the trade post. Let's just start setting that up so I don't have to think about it. Alright, apples, export. Anything over 100, we'll have to buy a trader out. Beautiful. Look at that. That's awesome. Now, what do I want to do with this space right over here? Kind of bugging me. Not much to do with it. I think we'll just leave it alone, I guess. Alright, we got a lot of tier 3s. Dang, my FPS is actually kind of tanking right now. I wonder if it's all these freaking shrines. I don't know. I'm at like 29 FPS on Ultra. There's a lot going on. Alright, the king wants more money. Yeah, the more people you put into a town, it does seem to kind of become less lucrative. See, we're at 80% approval. If I were smart, I'd start upping some of these guys to tier 2, to be honest. So, we do have the clothing. So what we want to do is come over to the butcher. Set a sheep reserve of 70 and 20 on lambs. Stop killing things for a bit. Probably get a little bit more wool action going. 191. Yeah. We can afford... Oh, we got 45 wool. Okay. Get another person in the weaver. It's only... I mean, this is only like consumption of 10 clothing per... But, you know, that +1 passive wealth. It's a beautiful thing. We'll get all these guys to tier 2 just for that wealth passive. Here we go. Yeah, there's a little bit of yarn. I think we're probably going to need another tailor. Let's get that up. Looks like we're doing okay on the fields. Oh boy. Yeah, we're hurting. I'm just gonna wait for one of the 23 families to move in. These guys are all ready to go for tier 3. It's kind of interesting. We could, but then we have to worry about shoes when we got enough. It's one per. It would be basically 1 per house. I don't know. I think we need to see how this all plays out. Nice, new family moved into the bakery. So now we got multiple families doing everything. So we need multiple types of fruit. Pear should help with that. I guess maybe we shouldn't go all apples. Maybe we should do another pear. Just to make sure we have 2 types of fruit. Nothing happens like if you don't give them everything they need, but you know, it's just cool to see if you could do it. Alright. Tailor shop is up. Let's make sure that it is on full clothing. Perfect. Oh wow. They just sold everything. Or it all just disappeared into the void. I think the traders went out with their horses. Okay, no more importing rough stone. We're gonna go down the line here. We've got 257. Alright, let's buy a route for rye bread. Apples will be the next thing. I guess we can wait on that. Exporting pork was a really good decision, to be honest. Oh wow, cabbage at 234 with just 1. Jeez Louise, man. Pretty impressive, actually. Maybe we should not export the fruit. We're not doing hot. Let's just do one of each. Let's just do one of each on each side. And forget selling any of it. We're consuming too much of it. Alright, the meat situation seems to be pretty good. Mushrooms are pretty decent, which is the one family. Or two families. Wild animals. Let's see what happens here. I'm hoping this increases. Alright. I'm loving it. Got a bunch of tier 2 houses. That should increase our passive wealth. It seems like they've balanced a lot of things, because it's not as easy to make money off large setups. It's always easy to make money on very hyper specialized setups with low pop. Alright. Yeah, the warbow should be decent. Plowing by hand. Okay. Yeah, we should have, I'm gonna do something here real quick. We should not be having anyone on a burger's plot involved in trade. They're like sitting there plowing by hand instead of moving stuff, right? Okay, so he's a farmer. Farmer. Oh boy. The tanner. Alright, I'm gonna move the tanner guy out. He's a smelter. We're over here now. Carpenter. You ain't no carpenter. He is a granary worker. No, you are over here now. Okay. Accidentally took the tannery dude out. Okay, perfect. Granary worker. There we go. Alright, so everyone in the trade post is now locally sourced. So I expect to see all this going up quick. They should just all be transporting. Perfect. That probably was actually a big portion of our issue, because we have 582 carrots. We should be selling carrots at every hour of the day. 600 carrots. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be had. There we go. Now you can see the money's going through the roof. Okay, we got everything over here. Got a tier 2. Okay. We finally got all of our backyard extensions up. This is pretty sharp, actually. We got everything going. The money's going to start flowing in. Nice. This is a big... I didn't realize how big the city is. Actually, when you look at it from the distance, it's pretty big. Huge. Alright, get you up to tier 3. Alright, monthly migration is 2. Passive income +1 for level 2 and level 3 burgers plots. +10 influence per month. Because our approval is very, very high. So high, in fact. I don't want to mess with it too much. But I do like money. Boots us up to 15% tax. Now that we're actually pulling in cash, we're not spending anything. I think we're going to start seeing our treasury rise. Okay. Alright, yeah, now they're bringing in the goods. We're selling the clothing. Wow, 145 wool. 150, wow. Okay, well, we definitely need 2 more families in the weaver over here. And I think we need a second guy. Gotta watch to make sure, because he's taking the last area now. Probably gonna come for us soon. I do think having multiple families in the sheep farm is contributing to a pretty substantial amount of wool being harvested. I don't think one guy can keep up with how many there were. So last 12 months, we produced 361 wool on 45 sheep, which is crazy. Okay, we have 20 lamb. That's enough for 365 clothing. It's too much. In fact, pause the game real quick. It's absurd. Okay, so the butcher, we're gonna get rid of the reserve on lambs and pop the sheep down to 50. That's more than enough. Here comes the meat. Now, also more importantly, here comes the hides. 24 shoes, 203 clothing. We can't even sell the clothing as fast as we're producing it. More wool than anybody in the world. Okay, we got the bows. We got pork. We got some carrots. Okay. Hopefully we can keep up with everything now. We're starting to really dial it in. All right, we have no yarn. We have 142 wool. Okay, so this is the problem here. We need to max out the weavers. Okay, I think things are on the right track. Cabbage could be sold potentially. The bread, we're not producing as much bread as I thought. 320 mushrooms. Jeez Louise, man. We have so many resources, but I'm almost at the point where I typically like to stick to one trade post, but I know they... I don't know. I don't know. Do we need... I know that they messed around with some stuff. There's a lot of different competing theories right now. A part of me, though, is just like, I need boots on the ground. So what if we put the trade post back over here? And what if we tried it? What if we just tried it? See if multiple trade posts actually work now. There's supposedly the dev who's working on this stuff had it prioritize the movement of certain good, like they'll come in and they'll purchase it from the place that has the most of that object. But they're going to do a whole trade overhaul, not this patch, but the next one. So eventually we'll have a pretty good system, I think. Get 4 people in here. And a bunch of horsies. Let's see what we can do. Because it'd be cool if I can say, you sell these goods, right? You sell these goods. That way they weren't intermingling. Like, that's all they'd have to, like, same way they do it with granaries. Like, this trade post has this goods that are allowed. This trade post has these goods that are allowed. It's literally solved the entire problem. But because it splits it all evenly, the trader... So there's 20 carrots here and there's 5 carrots. The trader goes and he buys the 5 carrots and he leaves the 20 carrots. That's the problem. That's why we've been using one. But as you can see, there just aren't enough boots on the ground to sell how many things I have. So I have 21 carrots over here. And there's a maximum collectively between this one and this one. I can only have 50 carrots up for sale at any given time. So it's this whole, you know what I mean? That's why splitting the trade post is considered dumb. You just don't make as much money. But you can see we're making lots of money now. But I will say that you will go and sell goods yourself if you have horses. So there's that aspect. But it takes them forever to do that. We'll see. I'm just going to try it out. Small game is still... Something's so wrong. I mean, mutton and pork... Well, pork should be beating it. This is consumption here. Yeah, we're still at 66. Mutton is like 1... Yeah, that's about right. Pork is 258 we produced last year. So, pork is where it's at. But we're selling a lot of the pork. Alright, look at those last guy to tier 3 and we're in good shape. Alright, you can see we're rolling in the money now. 45 sheep, more than enough. 40 pigs, 15 chickens, 0 goats. Don't need any goats. I got enough hides. Actually, we don't have enough hides. We should be getting a hide every time we kill a sheep. And we just started killing a lot more of them. Yeah. I don't really like... I mean, the passive hides from goats is nothing compared to what I'm getting per... And come over to butcher, right? I'll show you. So we get 1 hide and 2 mutton per. And we're getting like 66 hides a year just off that operation right there. Alright, so we have enough food. Kill everyone in the world. Overeating, holy cow. A lot of cabbage, mushrooms. Yeah, you can see that it's just splitting everything. So spoilage of 50. Yeah, so over here we don't have much. I think where you make the... And you can see all the traders are coming here. And they're neglecting this guy over here. So it's nice because we're able to pull in more goods. But it's also not nice because they're not purchasing anything from us. Well, maybe this is the ideal trade post location because it does feel like they're filling it up better. These are the kind of questions you have to ask yourself. What's going on? Because they're not coming over here. They're prioritizing the closest trade post. Okay, we're going to delete the trade post. I'm going to leave the gen over here and see what happens. Gonna reassign all of them. There we go. Okay. Look at that. We got ourselves a full post. Connected to road. He doesn't like it. Interesting. We're not making any sales over here. Outside, if you hold tab, you can see the wandering traders. You can see all the trade routes. I wonder if they broke something. Trade route here, trade route over there. I have an idea. Involves connecting this road to this road. This road to this road. See if we can proc. Okay. This road to... There we go. And a back road here. There we go. I'm just trying to see what the traders are doing, what the logic is. Okay, so here comes some. It's hard to see. Here's a traveling merchant. Just following the King's Road. We're not selling anything. Alright, I'm gonna fire everybody. Rehire them. Wonder if they're getting stuck somewhere. This is... What did they do? Alright, let's try trade post up over here next to the King's Road. A little closer. There's some issues, and there always has been with trade, where things just don't always make sense. We're gonna just... Oh no, it looks like we sold some stuff. There we go. There we go. I had to threaten it. There we go. It might have actually just taken a second to catch up. But yeah, this is why I only use one. It's just... They tend to just populate the nearest one. There we go. Or make a bank. Okay. There we are. Treasury's way up. Everybody's beautiful. Alright. Well, I think that's it. I think that's it for me. Pretty much showed you guys everything I wanted to show you with the new design for the Shield 3.0 or 5,000. I don't know. Just put some number on it. It's a design I've used quite a bit. But it works really well. A bit organized. And it's awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Special shout out to my patrons, everybody, and my members, everybody that supports the channel. Remember to subscribe if you like this kind of content. Peace out.